3 ways my almost newly minted neighbor subtly dissed my home. Here goes the story. Some people will use languages in their conversations that subtly bring you down while elevating their status, whether maliciously or otherwise. A while ago, I talked with a gentleman who was building his house on the land next to mine. It was my first meeting with him, so we briefly chatted after introductions. The conversations were mainly about construction, but we often switched to denomination, family, and occupation. During the discussions, our attention was turned to my house. As we reasoned about a few things, the gentleman repeatedly took several negative swipes at my home in the most subtle way. If I weren't keen, his criticism would come off as constructive concerns. One of his first criticisms was, "That doesn't have any column, you know." To which I replied, "I know." That he was referring to was my house, and gave the impression that, unlike his, which has columns, my house would collapse at any moment. To give some context, my house is a prefabricated concrete structure built several years ago by one of the best housing development companies in the world. I'm delighted to say that, having experienced several natural disasters, including earthquakes, I've had no issues with the house. But my almost newly minted neighbor was not satisfied, so in round 2, he aimed a soccer punch a little lower than he had before. "Your house has no foundation. They, the housing company, just carried it and dropped it on the ground." To which I replied, "I know." But, again, for context, my house is no different from the thousands of homes the organization built for the government and private developers worldwide. Let's continue because here comes the third, in his mind, my knockout punch. The house didn't come as it is. The units came separately, and they joined them right there. His arms were outstretched, and he seemed to want to move closer to show where the joining was at my house. Again, I said I know. After all, the house in question was mine. Even if I had been naive, I would have had several years to discover all its mysteries, not having to wait several years for a stranger to come and tell me all about it. People who believe they have arrived will say anything to put you down, but when you know where you stand, there is no need to pick up the garbage they put out, even if they disguise their garbage in an ice cream truck. There may be several differences between my house and my soon-to-be neighbor's. There are no columns, joints, or traditional foundations. However, I am sure my house is securely on the firm foundation of Jesus Christ. I pray his house is as well. Thanks for watching A Life Nevermore, a public diary for private pain. For more engaging content, remember to like, share, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video.